It's Monday, May 7th, 2012. You're tuned into the Georgia and Amy Show on iCannabisRadio.com. Tonight's hosts, of course, well, Georgia, because Amy's not here yet, but she should be here any minute. And your producer tonight is Kristen Custer. We'll have a little bit of news, and then we'll go right into it, because it is that time of the month.
It's not that time of the month, actually.
Yeah, it is. It's Class Monday.
Although, you know what's so funny about that? Guess who's listening, Warren? One of our good friends, MaxiPad.
I won't even go there.
Max says, what up?
Okay. Well, cool. In terms of the news tonight, we're going to chat about a Denver lawyer losing her liability insurance because of medical marijuana. We're going to talk about the DUID and CDPHE theft bill that continues through our legislature, but it is the last week. And finally, we'll talk about Connecticut passing medical marijuana over the weekend. Kind of, sort of, maybe. The buzz...
Video's present?
Uh-huh.
It looks fine on our end.
You refresh. To begin with, a Denver lawyer loses her her legal malpractice insurance. Local attorney Ann Toney was notified late last month that Hanover Insurance Group would no longer renew her malpractice insurance, despite the fact that Ms. Toney reminds all of her clients that medical marijuana is against federal law and that medical marijuana consists of only 30% of her legal work. Her insurance company is refusing to cover her firm with legal malpractice. She remains uncovered to this day, so about 30 days later, that not only covers problems, obviously, with her caseload, but for those of you non-lawyers out there, you cannot hold a state license, you cannot hold a state contract without having medical marijuana or malpractice insurance. Anyway, Georgia, you might want to go check in the main room to make sure it's going if you don't have it going there. Additionally, the DUID bill and the state's move to steal money from the patients remains alive yet today. Even though we're in the last week of legislative session, the DUID bill has gone through appropriation and hit the House floor. It could any day. That would, for those of our listeners outside of Colorado, because most of us here are on top of this because it's a bad deal, it would institute a 9 nanogram whole blood per se standard in Colorado, which would basically mean a patient would have to choose between being a medical marijuana patient and driving, particularly those that are daily users. But anyway, it got through appropriations. It has to still go through the House. The good part is Wednesday's it. So
do we know what time the hearing is on Wednesday?
No, and that's part of the trick. They never let you know. There was supposed to be a hearing this afternoon. That didn't happen.
At 1:30.
And so, rumors here, rumors there, but there's only, 2 more days left. Wednesday's it, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to get through.
Will there be testimony? Do you know? Okay.
No.
And right now, I mean, the other piece of legislation that is being kind of held off maybe until Wednesday.
Well, wait, because
Sorry.
So the listeners know that's also SB 12117, because SB 12117, those are the magic numbers, so you can Google in like Colorado legislature and then go bill search and go there, because that's the best we can do to try to figure out what's going on with that. Now, additionally, there's HB 121358, and that's funding related to medical marijuana.
Boo.
And that would, on a basic level, take $7.7 million from the medical marijuana program, meaning CDPHE, the Department of Health, and transfer that to the Department of Revenue for use and licensing. $7.7 million would be stolen from the patient fund and used for licensing. Now, that's not just bad enough, but the particularly interesting part is of that, $93,600 would go to the Department of Safety for expenses related to coordination of the medical marijuana data in the Colorado Crime Information Center.
Sounds ominous.
It's very ominous. Basically what that means is they're going to create a database that links the enforcement office with the whole list of patients, the registry.
Well, and it basically is going to depend on the fine details, because if it's a matter of creating an information system that allows the cops to confirm that somebody's a patient or not, that's one thing. But if it's something where a cop can troll down Colfax and run people's license plate numbers and have a red flag come up saying the person who's registered that vehicle is a medical marijuana patient, that is a completely different thing. And I have actually heard that it could go either way. Just so you know, the door's unlocked. But that could go either way. And we're going to see, and the dirt is in the details. But as George is saying, that all goes on Wednesday, and
So that hearing is Wednesday too. Is it starting
well,
in
it
the
could
Senate
be Tuesday or Wednesday. That came from the House, so that's in the opposites. That's in the Senate at this point.
Okay.
And we will see, but keep your ears open. And that's HB 12-1358. Again, HB 12-1358. And finally, before we get to some random chatter and as they pull out some cool glass, over the weekend, and yes, you're hearing me right, over the weekend on Saturday, Connecticut approved medical marijuana in a kind of, sort of, maybe fashion. Specifically on Saturday, the Connecticut State Senate approved medical marijuana, and Connecticut Governor Malloy has pledged that he will sign the bill when it hits his desk. So that is a good thing. The bad thing is the actual piece of legislation, and I actually say that, but it has some good parts because it has some of the strongest protection for patients I have ever seen.
Excellent.
What are some of the protections?
Well, it straight up says that a person can't be denied housing because they're a medical marijuana patient.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It says a person can't be denied professional licensing or benefits because of that, meaning a broad encompassing array of things, everything from a doctor can't lose their medical medical license because they're a medical marijuana patient, onto people can't lose their local state funding because they're a medical marijuana patient.
Or for example, the Boehner case wouldn't happen in Connecticut.
Correct. Because it wouldn't threaten your license under this. So it has great protection there.
Wow.
But then it's like, I don't know how somebody wrote that part of it, which is very progressive. And then basically it creates dispensaries, producers, patients, and caregivers. The licenses begin at $25,000, and only the producers can grow. Okay? But here's the weird part. Only dispensary owners can dispense. So the producers sell to the dispensary owners, which is kind of like here, okay? But the dispensary owners are required to be pharmacists. So how many pharmacists do you think are going to be able to maintain their license to distribute Schedule 2, 3, 4, 5 drugs while they're simultaneously distributing Schedule 1 drugs? None, okay? The harsh reality is they won't be able to. So basically, this sets up a system where patients will have to get their medical marijuana from the black market, and then because there's nobody else, right? Because the other thing is the patients and the caregivers aren't allowed to grow; only the producers are allowed to grow. So the patients can't grow for themselves, and it leaves this caregiver person is apparently a delivery boy.
And so this has already been signed into action.
Well, the governor hasn't signed it, but it has passed the House, the Senate, done deal. Saturday it's a done deal, and the governor says he's going to sign it. And so, figuratively, it's a great thing. It gets in the paper again. Look, another New England state passed medical marijuana. Like I said, it has some great protections for the patient, and it just, I don't know if it's intentionally unworkable, meaning somebody who's like, I want to...
Doesn't it feel like that, though? Doesn't it feel like it's intentional?
Sometimes, though, they just...
If you think about it, though, if you're a smart businessman and you're a pharmacist, and you're willing to sacrifice your ability to prescribe other medications and open a medical marijuana center, and you're one of, say, 10 people to do so, you will be able to potentially make more revenue in that position than you would as a pharmacist.
But you're not a pharmacist if you lose your license, therefore you can't sell medical marijuana.
But if they
how long would you be allowed to be a pharmacist?
So if they become a patient first, and then they're under that clause where they're licensed.
It's feds.
Federal, that's right.
Yeah, see, the issue is it's a federal license to prescribe and to deal with prescriptions. So, it's a federal deal. They don't give a shit. And no matter what the state licensing says and how much protection they build into it, it won't matter. So, yes, you will have some brave ones and some out there ones that will do it to make a buck. But within 6 months to 9 months, the licensing board is going to catch up with them.
Right.
They're going to lose their license.
And then it's a federal case. And
the thing is, it's akin to the prescription recommendation thing. They didn't say prescription because they knew if a doctor prescribed it, they'd lose their ability to prescribe other drugs, and no doctor would do it. So, it's a weird backstep in that regard. And I don't know whether it was just, that sounded cool, so they did it, and then didn't think through how it'll really work, or whether it was that part of it's intentional. You're clearly going to have patients.
Right.
I don't understand the pharmacist piece, though. Was that
that
an
really
effort to
sense.
say, wow, this is really and truly a medicine, and
it's safer. right? Allegedly, because you'd have some pharmacist person that is licensed and went to school and handles it. And, you know, as much as everybody hates the rules here in Colorado, probably not stuff we should talk about it, but we will. I mean, my big fear was always that they would restrict it or make it akin, as pain in the ass as the application process is to be an employee in this state. They don't make you go to school for 2 years.
Right, yeah.
You know, and they do for other scheduled drugs. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Is there any remedial action that can occur at this point legislatively to modify the bill?
Oh, yeah, this is all legislation. So unlike a constitutional amendment, this can be tweaked just like we've seen in 1284, 1043, and will be tweaked year after year after year. So, you know, I guess you'll see patients. You'll probably see some brave pharmacists. And maybe before they lose their license, you'll see some regulation change depending on how the operations look and come across to the general public. It'll be also interesting. The patients in Connecticut would be able to shop in Maine, where there's reciprocity.
Oh, nice.
And allegedly, Vermont's going to tweak itself to fully and cleanly allow reciprocity in its new dispensaries that open up this July. Nudist dispensaries.
Nudist?
No, we're not doing the Sex Pot radio show.
Interesting.
No.
Hey,
sorry.
If Florida,
that's a very visceral image.
if Florida legalizes medical marijuana, Key West will have a nudist.
Oh, I am sure they will.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine what's going to happen? What's going to drop on New Year's Eve?
Oh,
Lord. Where is New Jersey right now on their legislation?
They're up to 2. Well,
Okay.
in terms of when we talked to Ann a couple weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yep, they had 1. And since that time, they have gotten another. So we are up to 2 at this point in Jersey.
Okay,
And
great.
just keeps kind of chugging, and then we'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll keep everybody updated here in November. And
how about New York?
Washington in November. And I'm not hearing New York's going through this legislative session, but certainly pressure's on Governor Cuomo.
Right. That's interesting.
So do we need to pay some bills, or what the hell are we doing?
We do need to pay some bills, and we'd like to thank our friends at Medical Marijuana of the Rockies. Warren, you want to say thank you to your friends?
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry and Aaron are one of our favorite places up in Frisco. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, it's your mountain source for meds, the best immature plants in the state, or clones, or actually maybe right now it doesn't really matter what we call them, but you can get on their website, www.mmrockies.com, for their ever-changing strain selection and their plant availability.
Yeah, right up off I-70 in Frisco, and urge our listeners, as the weather gets nicer and it's easier to drive up there and get around and everything's pretty, make a day of it. Go grab some lunch, go pick up some meds at Jerry's, and check out something different up there.
That's Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, mmrockies.com. We'll be right back.
Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706. Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it on grass. runongrass.com.
Hi, Josh Stanley here from National Geographic's American Weed. I'm here with my brothers, and we've just recently put together a foundation in Colorado to allow for cancer patients and other patients of debilitating conditions to be able to get a hold of cannabis-based oil that's just about free of charge. I've just about had it with seeing sick patients suffer needlessly just because they can't afford the proper medication. That's what the Realm of Caring is going to change. Visit therealmofcaring.com. The website will be complete and up on 4 20 of 2012. But until then, please contact any of us Stanley Brothers directly through email. You can get us at gratefuljosh@hotmail.com. Now come on, Colorado. We need to take care of each other. Join the Realm. That's realmofcaring.com. Thank you so much.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding. Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
The law offices of Edson, Maton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
California's Attorney General has determined that the Repeal Cannabis Prohibition Act will save hundreds of millions of dollars from our overburdened justice system while creating hundreds of millions in new tax revenues from new sustainable jobs and industries that are friendly to our environment. But we can't do it without your help. We are seeking your donations to get on the ballot. Please go to repealcannabisprohibition.org to learn more about how you can help. It's time to end the war on cannabis and hemp in California. It's time to end the madness. Paid for by Sensible Californians Incorporated.
Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706.
Hi, I'm Rick Cusick from High Times Magazine, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Cure with Georgia and Amy.
It's so cute to hear Rick's intro. He's such a nice guy.
I love it. Before we get to Glass Monday, I want to talk a little bit about the Colorado Patients at a Time event yesterday. This has been the third?
Yeah. That was the third.
The third event that awarded grants to patients to receive their doctor's evaluations and then to cover the red card registry fee.
With the state.
Medical marijuana state registry fee. Yesterday, 15 patients were awarded grants.
That puts us over 50.
It's since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the year, over 50 people have benefited from generous donations from lots and lots of organizations and people. And yesterday, our event at Jake's, and we'd like to thank Jake's at 3800 Walnut Street for hosting our event for us, which was a pre-Mother's Day brunch. There was lots of food. The bacon.
You're a bacon fan, huh?
This vegetarian loves some bacon.
Yeah. No, and it actually was. It was like thick cut peppercorn. It was really
that's
good.
The best
yeah.
kind.
It was good.
They put out a good brunch for us, and then there's all sorts of. What was cool was it was not a traditional cannabis event, and I hate to say it that way, but it wasn't. I mean,
I think that's good though.
It was kid friendly,
right?
And there was all sorts of kid stuff. From sand art sculptures to a caricature guy to a face painter to a spray paint guy to some glass blowers that were making kids marbles and mushrooms and other things. We had a masseuse, and then we had a variety of different prizes given away, but it was pretty cool, and there was lots and lots of kids there, like 30 plus through the day.
It was really fantastic, and people stayed. They had a great time. People showed up at 10 and they left after 2, and it was really wonderful. So we would like to thank the sponsors, Indispensary in the Realm of Caring, MMD of Colorado, Rabbit Hole, Glass Blowers, Buckaroos, Noda Urban Garden Supply, Green Thumb Garden Supply. Yeah,
I forgot. I didn't even mention the kids planting all sorts of seeds because there had to be 100 of those cups went out.
Oh, it was just fantastic. It was so cool. Weed Pimps gave away things. Ganja Girl, Edson Maton and Matt.
Vapor Brothers.
The Vapor Brothers. Thank you guys again for donating another vaporizer. What a fantastic. Lynette won it. Lynette won the vaporizer. It was fantastic. Vapor Brothers, I'll send you a picture. I got it. The other thing is that this event not only paid for the minimal costs of holding the event, but actually raised money for the next.
Yeah, for the first time ever, we covered the 15 scholarships and actually raised money yesterday. So we can't thank the Colorado Patients Out of Time board members enough for pulling that off. So that got done, and will allow us to have another one next time. And then we had, so folks know for the next one, too. They're great speakers last night or yesterday, just like before.
Moms for Marijuana yesterday.
Yep.
Christy Wheeler was in attendance. Thank you, Christy.
Heidi spoke about the Patients Out of Time conference in Arizona and let us know how that was. Chaz spoke a bunch, and it was really cool.
I want to put a shout out, though. I think it's really important. I think one of the reasons why this Colorado Patients Out of Time project is so wonderful is that it gives the opportunity for the medical marijuana industry to actually help pay for some patient needs. At the point in time that the doctor-center relationship was severed, understandably so, there wasn't really an opportunity for centers to be able to financially help patients. And this is a great way to do this. This is a nonprofit organization. Organizations can make a donation to the National Patients Out of Time, and it's a tax deduction, and all the money from Colorado donors goes directly to the Colorado Project. So please visit the website, coloradopot.org, coloradopatientsoutofTime.org, and please make a donation. We'd really appreciate it.
What was your favorite part about the event?
You know what? I think watching the kids...
Aside from the bacon.
I loved the bacon. I think watching the kids mesmerized by the glass blowing was just fantastic. I mean, at the very beginning, when the glass blowers got set up, these kids' eyes were humongous.
14 degrees out there.
Right?
It's true.
That's right. And Zach got a pretty nasty burn on his hand.
That's because he was drunk the other night.
Oh, tattletale.
all the kids were so shocked. Zach wasn't even phased. Like he put on the fire retardant glove and was like, yeah, that's just irritating my burn. But they were like, whoa, I think they will not play with torches. I guess they learned that. But that was my favorite. What was your favorite part?
Well, I got there after everyone had kind of left, obviously. I worked all weekend, so I didn't really have a break. But my favorite part was, seeing Deborah. Like, she's just so happy and really, I think, in a comfortable space and feeling really good that she can benefit other people, other individuals, which is, at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or what you did, but they do remember how you made them feel. And if you can change their life, it really is enriching. So I think she definitely, she's just in a great mood. Her whole energy was amazing.
She'd had some champagne too.
Yeah, she had a little bit of champagne.
Yeah.
There was a little bit going on.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. And I think the teasing's got to stop. We've been talking about Glass Monday for a while, and everyone's anxious to talk to you guys. I don't know why, but they
possibly because they are the Cannabis Cup winners.
We love winners around here. Do you want
to?
So we are going to do. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of moving. Ready, set, move.
Chinese fire drill right now.
And then
red light.
That means you
one's
get
gonna leave. Okay. You guys can talk, so they're not
Can you hear me?
dead air.
I can hear you now.
All right. So what did you guys bring for us today?
Well, we brought some rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah, we did bring some rabbit hole stuff since they were at y'all's event.
And
we also brought the piece that we won the cup with.
Can I touch that?
No.
You both said that. Okay.
I don't even want to.
I've actually that's the first time I've ever gotten a no from you guys.
That is a Scott Perry Norton work of art.
Is that on camera?
It will be.
They don't have malpractice insurance for head shops either.
I don't even know. What exactly do you call that?
Awesome.
Call it awesome.
I call it Dichro Madness Awesomeness by Sky Perry Norton.
And that's a Rabbit Hole Productions piece?
Heck
No, this is by
Sky.
Hell no.
No, this guy is old school artist, specializes in using a lot of dichro in his wag work, and he pulls a lot of his own color, and it's in this particular piece has just...
So when you say wag work, what does that mean?
Point at it, Paul.
Point at it.
But don't touch it.
Just point at it.
I can touch
it. He won't let Georgia touch it, and then he goes and grabs it like...
All that stuff on the top there. All the little cutback, enforced sawtooth looking lines.
So basically, kind of more of the ornamental pieces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the more decorative stuff that
technically,
like it's called wig wag. Also, a lot of it's referred to as reversals and stuff like that.
That's what the terminology means.
Yeah.
Wag is wig wag.
Right. It's like skateboard tricks. The glassblowers got to choose all their own names when they created all this stuff.
Obviously, by the name Slime, I would think you guys.
I love Slime. Yeah.
There's kids that still call wig wags wiggity woos.
Wiggity woos.
Yeah, that's like a Canadian.
Yeah, the dichro that he was talking about. Some of these that you see inside all the marbles, the real sparkly.
Yep,
looking little sections.
It's actually dichroic film, the same as the space shuttle had on its tiles. That
you could smoke the space shuttle.
That's some NASA shit. You can buy NASA glass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. It comes from Kennedy Space Center.
Now, you guys bought this piece for a reason, though.
Because that was the highlighted showcase centerpiece that helped our booth to win best class, and this is the piece that is the best class.
And the best class in the High Times Denver Cannabis Cup that occurred
Medical Cup, yeah,
a couple of weeks ago.
Which we had a.
This says winner.
Winner.
Oh, yeah, it does say winner.
Winner. Winning.
So, yep. With this piece sells or goes home, that goes to Sky's house.
That's awesome.
He gets the Cannabis Cup trophy. And
yay, Sky!
We've got a couple of replacements to go to in each one of the stores. So,
is he a local or?
He's in Fort Collins.
Oh wow! Awesome.
He's a Colorado superstar in his own right. And if anybody wants to check out his work, please visit glasspipes.org/Sky Perry Norton, and there's a lot of examples. I mean, this is just one of a great many masterpieces that he's made himself and been part of in collaborative works.
If someone wants to buy the top glass in Colorado that won the Cannabis Cup, what kind of price are they looking at?
What's that going for?
I think that tag on there says $2,800.
Yep.
Woo,
which is
that's
actually
a bargain.
Yeah, that's really
definitely
stupid cheap for that quality of a piece. But then again, Colorado, it's artists here work cheap because they want to move their work. And
there's a lot of competition too.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a lot of very heady competition here. So.
Now, is this really a piece that you would use, or is this a piece?
I know people who would use this. They're
you
crazy.
would have to be a very
would I use this? No, this
gentle,
would sit,
delicate person.
This would sit
sitting in a room
next
full
to
of pillows.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely the piece that would end up with a really high-end collector.
Right.
And you have your two different high-end collectors. There's the guys like me that collect a lot of stuff and only smoke out of maybe half of it, if that. Then you've got some guys like I know a guy back in Texas that has one of the biggest collections I've ever seen, and he smokes out of every single piece.
Wow.
No matter what.
Is there a value loss when you start using a piece?
Well, here's the thing with it is it's only recently being appreciated as an art.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a Dale Chihuly bowl from Seattle, let's say, that is this big, is made by his apprentice, and costs $40,000.
Right.
This is made by one of the top, probably one of the best guys at working dichro on the planet and incorporating it into glass. Plus, I mean, you can see the piece is very well constructed. It's symmetrical. It stands exactly up and down, and it's got a ton of attachments, which every one of these pieces, that's welded on individually, and every time he does that, he faces the daunting question of will this color, if I place it on this spot, is it too close to another weld or anything else to create a stress point and have this piece just collapse on me?
Right.
So every one of these that makes it out of the kiln successfully is an accomplishment in itself, because the colors that he's using are non-traditional. A lot of them are untested, especially in a piece with the size and severity of stress points is something like this.
When you say untested, what do you mean by that? Like, well, he's just developing them for the first time, or?
In 1995, there was like 12 colors.
No, yeah, we talked about this, and it's kind of almost exponentially risen every single year.
And some of them react differently because of the metals and the composition of each one of the colors. So
does Sky think this through? Like, has he completely and utterly determined what it's going to look like, or does he do some? Okay, so here's where I am now. I'm going to add a couple pieces here and a couple pieces there.
Right. Well, everything requires balance, and most artists that you see their work, there'll always be balance. But the biggest thing that is one of the heady artists' dilemmas is when to say it's enough.
When to stop.
Exactly.
Well, and
when is it a masterpiece, and when can I walk away from it and feel confident that it's what I want to produce and show as representative of me as an artist, is what I would say.
I think this thing is stunning. You know, I just got a message from our friend Max, who not only wants to buy it, but wants to smoke out of it.
Max? Yeah. You better make the dean's list.
Right. Max isn't going to buy it. He wants to buy it. I just think it's amazing. I mean, you can, if I were allowed to touch it and to move it, which I will, I mean, this is the first time I've ever been told no, I will not touch. But I mean, there's so many different facets to it, and
I think that was
touch it.
Thank you. I mean, just look. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, it's even more beautiful from this angle. Yeah. I mean, there's pieces down here that are radically different from the pieces up here, and then this color scheme is pulled.
The wigwag
is pulled. Thank you.
Yeah, there's like 8 different sections in that little tiny section right there. That little.
Are you talking about the first? Oh, okay. Butterfingers.
That's why we're not going to touch it.
Oh my God. Winner. It's okay. You're still a winner even if you break it. But
no, we're not going to break it. Take that away from that.
Okay. That wasn't really the problem.
This is why we cannot have nice things.
This is why we cannot have nice things.
Right.
Yep,
I used to say that to Pentamonas Verdes all the time.
Just admire this for. See, the cool thing about it is that this is a piece of history for the artist, as well as, you know, this is like a Picasso
for the customer
after
too.
His 10th or 15th year or whatever.
Or like right at the blue period. So if you bought a Picasso, his first blue period, you're doing pretty well.
There you go.
I just as like an observer and as a participant in kind of this revolution that's happening, do you think there will ever be a moment where this is recognized as an art form equal to that of Chihuly or other renowned glass artists?
I would call this the most difficult art on the planet.
People are making me very nervous.
Yes, me too.
Sorry.
Put Sky's piece away now.
My mom gene is kicking in. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, you guys have got my train of thought focused on this piece.
Well, I'm just thinking, because if you referenced Chihuly earlier and buying a piece by his assistant for $40K, right? Yeah. But you will never use that piece of glass. You will never say, I'm going to serve salad to my dinner party tonight in my Chihuly glass. You're not going to do it, but this you would use. So it almost has an added degree of difficulty to it.
It is 100% functional and functions well.
Right, and it's equally, if not more beautiful than those pieces that are so simple.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's the cool thing about it is that next time he makes it, it will not be the same color.
Right.
It will not be the same anything.
Well, that's one of the things that I think is so appealing. I mean, every piece is radically different, even if it looks similar. The colors are different, and
the weld points are different. Like this piece is not symmetrical. I mean, a machine did not make this. A man made that.
Right.
A human being, a stocky little human being with big arms.
and an amazing talent.
Exactly.
It's
sure,
beautiful. Congratulations, you guys. Congratulations, Sky. You guys are winners.
Yeah. And we'll put that in the light booth last and kind of go over a couple of things with this piece. And we'll go over some of these rabbit holes next. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, why don't we take a little breaky break and make a few dollars? We'd like to thank our dear friends at Noto Urban Garden Supply, who also participated in the Patients at a Time event this weekend. Thank you so much to Levi. Noto Urban Garden Supply is located at 1330 27th Street. That's in between Walnut and Larimer on 27th in downtown Denver, 4.5 blocks northeast of Coors Field, right by, a little place called MMD of Colorado, and their next door neighbors, Mad Hatter's Smoke Shop.
Taking over the neighborhood.
I know. We have a heck of a block. Noto Urban Garden Supply is your source for all your hydro gardening needs, whether you are a commercial gardener or a hobby gardener. Go visit our friend Levi. Make sure you tell him that you heard about his store on iCannabis Radio and The Cure with Georgia and Amy, and he'll be happy to help you out. Right now, just so you guys know, they have seedlings available, all kinds of herbs and vegetables, and so do your shopping at Noto Urban Garden Supply, 1330 27th Street. We'll be right back.
The law offices of Edson, Maton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
Hi, Josh Stanley here from National Geographic's American Weed. I'm here with my brothers, and we've just recently put together a foundation in Colorado to allow for cancer patients and other patients of debilitating conditions to be able to get a hold of cannabis-based oil that's just about free of charge. I've just about had it with seeing sick patients suffer needlessly just because they can't afford the proper medication. That's what the Realm of Caring is going to change. Visit therealmofcaring.com. The website will be complete and up on 4/20 of 2012. But until then, please contact any of us Stanley brothers directly through email. You can get us at gratefuljosh@hotmail.com. Now come on, Colorado. We need to take care of each other. Join the Realm. That's realmofcaring.com. Thank you so much.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it on grass. Runongrass.com. Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Welcome back, welcome back.
I love that Gary Johnson. He's got a great radio voice. He's like, I want to say. He gets all in it. Like, he's all about it. Maybe politicians have a second career as radio people.
Maybe politicians' first career is actually
doing their job.
Well, no. No. That would be elected officials. Politicians are a totally different thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Before we get started with some cool things, we'd like to say hi to Peggy.
Peggy.
This is Peggy.
You're making it sound like one of my Italian aunts when you say it like that. Is your mom Italian?
No.
That was my best.
Little Irish lady.
That was my best.
It's from the Capital One commercials when they
little
call in. It's like the guy up
right.
in the Arctic. He's like, "Hello, this is Peggy."
Peggy, I want you to know I'm going to be hitting you up to do some work. I will call you soon. But anyway.
And I'll see you Wednesday, Mom.
Aww, look at that.
All right, Mad Hatter boys, what you got for us?
Cool stuff.
No doubt, right? And stuff that we can touch that we aren't going to...
Do I need to pan down on this camera?
We love when you touch the stuff.
Touch the stuff. Peggy, he's talking about the glass.
Sometimes.
Oh, my mom raised me. She knows.
I'm just saying.
I had to explain that to someone the other day, too. I was like, I'm the black sheep, but they're cool with it now. I was 13, 14, 15, not so cool with it. Now I'm 20, almost about to be 28. They're cool with it now.
Wow, you're getting old.
I know, dude. My birthday's coming up.
Oh, my gosh. We know what you should have.
What is that? The $2,800 piece that I would never use and I would get nervous about? I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like, something's going to break that.
Yeah,
is my heating consistent throughout my house? Is there a rat somewhere?
So it's okay if
yes,
someone
random
gets a
breezes.
gift.
Yeah, then it's fine to break it.
Well, then she won't be as nervous because she did spend the money.
Renter's insurance would.
There you go.
Actually, I do have renter's insurance.
You'd have to have it be a rider on your renter's insurance.
We are stoners. Bum, bum, bum.
So all my landlords know this is what I do.
All right, so what do you got? What are you showing us?
All right. What
that
do
we
wanna
can't
talk
see.
about?
Yeah, can you show us first and then... No.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll start out with this one.
Oh, that's like Derek's piece. That
It's a
I like
slime
that one
Sherlock.
better. He's gonna
Love
be jealous
slime.
now.
Saxophone style.
That is
That
amazing.
is so cool.
Okay, now show
Some
our
are great
viewers
friends
or
that,
listeners.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Don't touch anything.
Okay,
You-
Paul.
It's mine anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Wow, so
Here's
beautiful.
another one on black tubing that has these slime dots.
So
Call that one the
Why don't you
anti-slime.
explain what the slime is?
Slime is a color. And
I love the slime.
yeah, it's a new color that you said was really, really big at the BIG or Big this year, right? Is that what it's called?
yeah, it's something that people have discovered. And, this is actually like a blow-in technique on these, so
Really?
it stretches it out and makes really cool like bubbles and patterns
Nice.
in the slime.
I
Chris,
really
do you like the slime?
I do.
I do too.
It's great. It's like Slimer
Does it
in
glow in the dark?
Ghostbusters.
No, but it looks like it should.
It,
doesn't
yeah.
Now that would be really cool if they could blow something that would then glow in the dark.
And this is a
There's some
custom made
glow.
color. Is it specific to one artist?
No, it's a Troutman color, isn't it?
I guess.
I'm pretty sure it's made by Paul Troutman, who's one of the big color producers
Okay.
in the industry.
Gotcha.
Old school player, and he like a
Old
player
school
in the
player,
game.
new
Not
school.
like-
Old school player, new school fool. Sorry.
But,
Outcast fan.
It's a color that's been gaining a lot of popularity. We've
I
seen,
love it.
especially in the last few
Yeah.
months.
I want slime in pink.
I really like the juxtaposition of the really light and bright green with the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's got
The contrast
coolest
is great.
piece.
Were you surprised that I just used the word juxtaposition?
I loved it.
People,
I loved it.
the words that come out of my mouth.
Trying to sound
On
all
many
smart.
different levels.
Just because you read an urban graffiti magazine does not make you cool.
Touche.
Actually, art history, AP art history, scored a 4 on the
Show that one
exam.
again.
All
So
right.
Yeah, you know what?
Show that
Occasionally I
one.
pick up a Juxtaposed magazine
Show
too.
that one again.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Again,
again and again.
that one is a dope one.
And these are all obviously from the same artist. They're the same style.
These are from Rabbit
and-
Hole.
Oh,
Guys who
nice.
Did the glass blowing at
Nice.
the Patients Out Time event,
Right.
Where my son has
Wait.
an original.
which I would have been at, but I thought it was the Mother's Day Patients Out of Time.
And-
So next weekend when I'm out of town,
No, I told you about it when we went to lunch, and you said I sleep all day on Sunday.
I do sleep all day on Sunday.
That's awesome.
Remember the conversation that we had? Yeah. I won't be there. I sleep all day on Sunday.
I need to get on that schedule, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Enviable.
Wait a second. Look at this.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
Donut
it's-
mouthpiece.
What's a donut? Oh.
Are you being perverted
Donut.
over there?
It's not perverted at all. It's beautiful. This is what is something with the vulva cost?
If
Hundreds of an hour.
If it's
Okay, just for
That
the
was
record, Georgia said that and I didn't, so
For once.
Note it.
I mean, this is just amazing. This is just amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice how they stacked like the slime sections on top of the little wigwag
So,
sections down below.
Did they actually...
2 reversals there.
Did they have to blow... Obviously, they had to blow those pieces separately. So is that actually 3 different pieces that were created?
That one's actually 4 different pieces.
Yeah.
Where's the fourth?
This one is one, this slime piece right here.
Yeah.
This is 2 separate ones right
It
here
is?
put
Oh,
together
really?
with the dark colors touching each other.
Huh.
And that's another section.
How do you do this though? How do you do the donut?
You would take. you would take.
There's many different positions and ways you can do the donuts. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
So how do you blow
she
the
started
donut though?
How do you blow the donut?
How do you blow the donut?
There's a couple books you can buy, and I have a couple I can lend you.
There's so many things that I can do with that I just...
That's what she said.
Starting with what?
I don't really know. I want to be as cool as Amy. I don't really know.
She wants to put it to her mouth first and try it out.
Alright.
No, it's a bubble wand.
Bubble wand.
It's an expensive
Well,
bubble wand,
yeah.
but I guess you could.
You might want to stick to the dollar store for those ones. 'Cause,
I'll show you this.
This is gorgeous. This is, I think someone should go to... Is this at the Walnut Street store?
That one's from Colfax.
Okay, so someone needs to go to the Colfax store tomorrow and buy it.
So I have a little idea, and I'm going to just say it now because I brainstormed it with Georgia earlier. You guys have upcoming in the next issue of Kush, there's going to be a pictorial review of Rabbit Hole. And they were just at the Patients Out of Time event as well. And because you two are located next to each other, maybe after the next issue comes out, you two could coordinate on an event and cross-promote and promote for Rabbit Hole. And that would be like a really big pounded out moment for both MMD and Mad Hatters, and you could have a lot of people come over, maybe even give Cassamans to get, like if you have a receipt from either store, have them hook you up with a drink discount.
Maybe Kush could donate 100 free T-shirts to the cause, or...
While we're throwing out ideas here.
I would love to if we had T-shirts. I think I might have a few that I could donate. Laura Latham, of all people, has them, so I'll have to track those down.
I like the Kush Wars one.
New co-host of Overgrown.
The what one?
Of what?
Kush Wars.
Of Overgrown.
Kush Wars?
Oh, nice.
Laura, yeah.
That was a Daily Bud shirt.
Ooh, I'll have to Google that and see if I can get that made again. Because all of this means I have to do it. So I have to plan it out.
So one of the things that we talked about with Rabbit Hole yesterday was, along those same lines, is having them doing a glass blowing demonstration as it gets warmer in the parking lot of our stores.
We have parking lot?
Well, we have a place where you're allowed to park.
You have a gravel
studio
alleyway. Yeah.
In the shop, so...
You could have it during that yellow no parking area that I always park in.
That's where we can
Because I'm special.
I
was like, yellow's my favorite color. This is where I'm supposed to park.
I like that one. That's super cool.
Okay, what is this one?
They're all bowls.
General Custer speaks up.
I like that one.
All right, tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, these are all different bowls with different attachments and slime and black.
Can I tell you my struggle?
Tell us.
I really struggle. Yeah.
She struggles with the horns.
I do.
I already knew that.
Yeah.
Before she even said it.
They're easy to grab.
Is that the purpose, or they're just
They look
just
really
neat?
And they look cool.
Look, you need to make some.
Look how cool this one is. This one right here is Jetsons.
Jetsons. Love
I
that.
mean, no doubt, I'm appreciative of what it looks like and those kinds of things. I just don't get why. To me, this looks dangerous.
You want it to be more feminine, and you want like curved and soft lines and stuff like that. But hey, out of your customer base, this one's got buttons.
It's like a dress. Look, it's like a little dress.
Okay, wow, she just totally proved my point.
Look, go like this, and it's flowers. Look at that. It's in the flower pot. I love this.
You should buy it.
Knew it. You should buy it.
Compralo.
It's $129.
Not bad for all that
I think
work.
that's worth
beautiful.
it. And then you can say of a slime piece from Rabbit Hole, which is
I love
pretty
the
awesome.
slime.
I just love that that's their name, because automatically evokes that image of Alice in Wonderland and opening the mind to like this amazing world of possibility.
Oh yeah.
And you just say
and Mad
Hatter. And the room.
Oh, light bulb. You can
And
call
little
it.
insider info: the Rabbit Hole guys do have the same girl working on a logo for them that designed our Mad Hatter.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I was thinking of a commercial. That's different.
Don't you worry
The perks
about
of Mad Hatter.
The perks of Mad
Sometimes
Hatter.
you get inside information that doesn't need to
The perks of Mad Hatter. This is really cool.
It's the best commercial ever. This one's really cool because it's the little magic slug with his little magic eyeballs crawling around.
That looks like something.
Throw that in there.
That looks like something that should. This one that John's about to show looks like something that could swim or grow little legs. That's Darwin. That's Darwin.
Toilet.
So it's missing link is what you're saying.
Oh, look at that. That's so awesome. It's looking at you.
We need him to make a black one that matches it, so that way there's like the good and evil one.
The angel and the devil.
The angel and the
Slug
devil.
Spy versus Slug Spy. The slowest bombing in Earth.
Oh, this is adorable.
Isn't it cool?
See?
Little eyes, a little antenna, and its little mouth right there, and then it's oh my gosh.
I think those are its eyes on stalks with its little nose.
No, those are little eyes.
No.
Yes, and that's the mouth.
The eyes are on top.
No, they're not.
Let her have her own little Alice in
Yeah,
Wonderland
that's what I
moment,
was about to
okay?
say. Those can be the eyes for her, and those can be the eyes for you guys.
But really,
I'll know.
It's not
You're
true,
all
is it?
entitled to your wrong opinions.
The species eyes are on top.
can I ask you a question? I want to know how likely it is that you're going to break off one of the horns.
Me?
In general.
They are surprisingly sturdy and well made and put on there. You see horns on a lot of pieces because it's an extra little thing you can do to give it, more character and more depth.
So if you see this, Georgette, like a good constructed piece will be constructed to the point where it's balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not likely it's going to tip over and fracture one of those. If you drop it, like you're standing and you drop it, yeah, it might happen. And
yeah, but then the whole thing could shatter.
Right. Yeah, don't drop it.
But out of all the pieces on this bowl, this is the most easy to repair, correct? If you wanted to, if you were
I'd say so.
that committed
and generally
to the
what
piece.
I see on pieces with spikes that have been damaged is usually it's just the tip is
yes,
chipped.
this little part. Yeah.
And I mean, especially if you know a glass blower, they can fix it and make it not look chipped. One of the cool things about a lot of the glass we carry being made here in Colorado, we can get it fixed by the guy who made it.
Right.
So
That's kind of
you
cool.
can stretch it out and you'll never even know.
So, I mean, this is a beautiful piece. It is not inexpensive. It retails for $270. I mean, feeling it. I mean, it has some weight to it. It's a significant piece. It's not a thin glass piece that you spend $10 on. But why is it, aside from a collector standpoint, should someone buy something like this versus a $20 throwaway piece?
Well, one of the big things, especially on a piece like that or like these others that we have from them, a lot of it is stemming into that color of slime.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to reflect in the price of the piece itself. Think of a glass rod. It's going to be, about a foot long, about the thickness of a pen or pencil, just solid glass. And they've got to turn it into this.
Wow, yeah.
So when you see traditionally lesser expensive pieces like a production spoon or something like that, like you're generally used to seeing in the $20 to $50 or even up to $100 range, they're starting with a clear rod that's already open and hollow. And then they're melting just strands of color, which they'll take like the pen or pencil long thing, stretch it out super thin, so that way, of course, it makes more, and they go further with it, and then just make some squiggly lines on the inside, close it up, and shape it like a pipe. So the materials involved are a lot less. Whereas, like I said, something like that, you're having to create and make off of a solid stick something open that they can then morph and form and actually blow into to shape it. So that's where your slime pieces, and right now slime is the most expensive color on the market, being so new and so popular.
Right.
And so that's definitely going to reflect in it. Like we were looking at the sky piece earlier with Dichro. I remember when I first got into pipes, when I was around 17, 18 years old. At that point, Dichro was the most expensive because that was the coolest, latest, greatest.
Dichro what's like slime with dicro under it and stuff like that is what's like the real hot stuff right now. It's like $130, $140 a pound.
Wow.
And when you tell that to a customer, they're like, "Why is this one twice as much as this one?"
Wow, you guys must have a lot of patience.
Well, that's the thing, is it requires a lot of education and explanation. So,
and that's why we enjoy doing what we do, because we're really into the glass. Like, we love it. Like,
Right.
I mean, John's in the store every single day. You know, he's allowed to have days off, you know, and he's always there because he loves it. You know, when he does take a day off, he goes and hangs out in a glass blowing. You know, I mean, that's all just part of it, because it's, you know, to some people it's just a pipe that you're going to smoke your stuff out of. To other people it's a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, I mean, some of us have been collecting for many, many years, and, you know, it's, you know, I compare it a lot to, you know, collecting baseball cards and stuff back in the day. You know, you're always chasing that special one, you know, but with glass pipes, a lot of times you don't know what that special one is.
But I feel like it's analogous to collecting art as well. Like, if you take...
exactly.
Like,
this is really cheap in comparison to other art.
But, well, no, actually, so there's a renowned collection, the Alfred Barnes collection, and he started collecting all of this progressive art, like Manet's and all this pointillism stuff, modern art, before it was popular. And people are like, why do you like this? This shit is, like, it's stupid.
Weird.
No one gets it. We don't like it. It is worth, like, $300 billion right now. And that's the thing, is, like, yeah, right now, maybe people don't know.
Yeah.
But eventually it could progress to that point, especially with the pieces such as Sky's piece, where that valuation does increase. So I think it's just increasing that awareness about what you're doing.
Yeah. It's like owning an original Alex Gray that no one appreciated 10 years ago, and it's like...
Perfect. That's a great analogy.
Yeah. Now every person for an entire generation is enamored with this art.
Right.
And this is such a new art form, too, that it's hard to tell what it's going to be worth. I mean, I know I've seen people, I've even had people offer me ridiculous amounts of money for pieces of my personal collection.
Right.
Some of them I let go of. They weren't that cool to me. And others I was like, you know, no. I mean, I've had people offer me up to 3 to 4 times what I paid on some stuff, just because it's that artist and it's his piece from 10 years ago.
Exactly.
And it's just now getting to that point to where you're just now learning who Chaz is and who Jason Lee is.
And Tuba and all of those guys.
Banjo and, you know, Mike Froh and all the old school guys, you know, that are kind of almost the godfathers of the modern pipe making movement.
Tubas and all those
right. I think it'd be really cool if we could, you know, somehow convince the curators of the Denver Art Museum that this is a relative and, you know, local and community-based
hugely
art.
Local now.
Exactly. And I think if we could find a receptive audience, that'd be great to have a show there with the Colorado Project.
Oh, definitely.
And I think you guys and us guys over here, the guys and the girls, would probably be the best, you know, ambassadors to convince them. Yeah. And the other shop, who should not be named, should not have anything to... No words should be exchanged.
Peggy like it.
But one other
like
thing...
a caterpillar.
One other thing, speaking of the Colorado Project, we are doing an event with them coming up. I'm pretty sure the date is set in stone for June 7th. We'll know for sure as it gets a little closer.
I'm sure it's set in stone, but we'll know for sure.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know 100%. But
Peggy, do you know?
Sandstone. It's set in sandstone.
We're bringing the Degenerate Art film to Denver to air at the Oriental Theater.
Oh, that's the Degenerative Art film. I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's
Marble Slingers.
Yeah, produced by Marble Slinger. He created it, and it was a great film. We got to see it in Vegas back in March, and it was phenomenal. Went through a lot of the old history of modern pipe making.
Nice.
And really gives you the basis of where it came from. And then just a small glimpse of what it is today towards the end. So I think that means he's going to be making
So you'll have
films.
a film
That's
premiere
fantastic.
coming up in June.
Yeah, at the Oriental Theater.
We'll make sure that we keep you guys posted on that. Tell us if people want to run out and buy this, because they're going to tomorrow. Stores, locations, hours.
All this stuff was brought from the Colfax location. We have other stuff from the collection. This is about half of it. Half goes to the Walnut store, half goes to Colfax. So one of these pieces specifically would be at 6091 Colfax Avenue. out in Lakewood, open from 10 to 8. You can also stop by the Walnut store and see a lot of the same, very similar products from the same artists. 2615 Walnut Street in Denver, right next to MMD.
Yay!
And y'all are 11 to 8, right?
We're 11 to 8 right now.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much.
No one knows about us. Come by and spread the word that we're here.
Wonderful. Well, all the patients at MMD feel like they are getting a sneak peek because they are the first ones to pop in the store. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
And you guys will be back that first week of June to bring us more amazing pieces. Thank you for bringing the slime. I love it. I love it. I just think it's the coolest color.
Other things to talk about.
Okay.
Sure, how cool that is. Before she just dismisses our day.
It's not slime, but
it's not.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
oh wow.
I'm going to start with some of the people over here. These are Millefiori pieces on Wrap and Rake that a fellow by the name of Jerry Kelly makes.
Millefiori, is that
tiny flower?
It's the small little images.
It's an Italian word.
It's
I like the mushroom.
It's ancient Milan /
Venetian and Milanese lace. That's where it comes from. I know a lot of really random stuff.
I love it.
These are a lot more of an old school style.
Color in a pattern, pull it down, and create these little slivers of.
So that's a pretty advanced technique. You have to.
Hey, Deadhead. This one's full of Grateful Dead and bears.
Who you calling a Deadhead?
I am.
That one.
Every time I go to a bar, especially Castleman's, and there's older men there and they see my back tattoo, they're all like, "Oh, that's such a great tattoo, man." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "Let me show you mine." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm good. It depends where it is."
You got a lightning bolt on mine.
It fell off. Like, I got the image. I'm good. So yeah.
Got to steal your face where I can steal your face.
Oh,
that's tomorrow night.
And the people a preview.
The people a preview. It's great.
Yep, tomorrow night.
Awesomely huge carbs on these pipes. I want this one. You want this one?
Just while they're going through glass, I'll go ahead and give the audience a kind of preview of what's going on. Tomorrow is Sex Pot Radio with December and Jenny. Do we know what they're talking about yet?
Do we ever know what they're talking about?
Well, my guess is something about sex and something about pot. So, anyways, anyway about it will be entertaining. And then on Wednesday we have the Thunderdome with Mr. Pantalones Verdes, Scott Green, for all of those out there who don't know him by that name. And also Crunchy, JP Crunchington, amazing cook. Thursday is Overgrow the Radio and Cannabis Health News Magazine. Both of those should be really interesting because by that time we will have gone through those hearings for those bills. So if you aren't really keen on going down to the courthouse yourself, stay tuned and they'll for sure give you an update. And next week with Georgia and Amy and The Cure, we're going to be talking about a patient story from one of our dear friends, Dina, who has been living with AIDS for about 17 years now, and a variety of other complications that have arisen from that, access. And she's a really good patient advocate. She does a lot of grassroots work, so if you want to learn more, please feel free to reach out to her.
Absolutely. Last words, Janonymous.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah, but you got to do that one.
I think that's been done before. Well, thank you guys so much. Paul and Jon from Mad Hatter's Smoke Shop, their location in Lakewood on Colfax, just this side of Casa Bonita. So if you're on your way to get some really bad food and watch some cliff diving, make sure you stop in and get your glass pieces. Or if you're heading to MMD of Colorado, stop in next door at their Walnut location. Thanks to our producer Chris Custer and our newsman Warren Edson.
And I just wanted to make a real quick aside. Chris gave great testimony on, Friday? Thursday. Really good. So he's out there doing a lot of stuff. So please give him a little pat on the back, our community that listens and stays involved. So
high five.
Good work. But thank you for tuning in. And we will be back next week. And please visit Miss Georgia and the boys over at Mad Hatters.
Absolutely. Good night, MaxiPad.